Good morning. Welcome to my workshop. I'm Greg Summers. Today our project is going to be, and this is probably one that I've planned for a long time, and it was I want to be one of the bigger projects, and I'm waiting for a nice snowy day. Well, that day is finally here. When you look out the window and see it snow on the ground, you know it's winter. But today we're going to make a chair out of old downhill skis. And I call this my summer ski chair. And if you look down here on the floor, I have the skis laid out that I'm going to use. And these are ones that I picked up over the last couple years, the throwouts and yard sales and things like that. Save them till I have enough. And one of the neat things about technology is that I'm going to use my laser level here to cut the skis. And I have to turn it on here. And if you look down here, follow the red dot, and I just simply go along here and cut those skis. And we have to separate them because we're going to use them for different parts of the chair. There we go. And if you look down here now, they've all been cut. Makes a nice clean cut. And these are going to be the different components for the chair. Really, it's just a laser level, and I already cut them before we started, so I could save a little bit of time. First thing you have to do is have some measurements, and I did a little bit of a drawing here to kind of decide what size everything is going to be, and I took some measurements off of some other chairs that felt really comfortable to me. And so that's basically what I'm going on. For me, that's the easiest way to do it. We're going to use skis, and we're also going to use pieces of, ooh, there went my laser level. We're also going to use pieces of trees that I've cut down out of the woods. These have been dead for a while, and they're nice and dry. Also, I've taken a draw knife and I peeled the bark off of them, and to help get things done a little bit faster, I've put a coat of varnish on them. So some of these have been cut to size just to aid in time, and the other ones we're going to cut to make them the right size. And I'll show you what I do in that process. First thing now I want to do is I want to start assembling some of the parts of the chair. And what I want to do is make the arms and the front and the back legs and put those pieces together. Remember, I've already pre-cut some of the skis, and hopefully I can remember which pieces go where. So here we go. I've taken these two pieces here of the skis, and these pieces are going to be the front legs, and they're going to be positioned like that. And also I've drilled holes in the top. The neat things about these skis is these are the old-fashioned skis, and they have a wood core to them, so I can anchor screws in those quite easily. The hard part about these is that skis have a metal edge, usually along the two bottoms, and sometimes they have a metal edge layered along the top, called composite skis. And if you look at the end of those, you can see all the different pieces of wood that have been glued together. And I better flip that over because this is the bottom edge here. It has a metal edge, and that has to be cut through. What I used to cut these with is I used a metal cutting blade, and I put it on my table saw. And then I could very slowly cut through those. You could use a metal cutting blade on a circular saw. Make sure you wear a lot of protection, your eyes and ears and stuff, and it does tend to get a little bit smoky because you're cutting plastics and you're cutting metal and you're cutting wood, so you use a lot of ventilation. Also, all the holes have to be pre-drilled so that the screws that you use will go through quite easily and then anchor themselves in the other pieces. Okay, so these are going to be the front legs here. And obviously those are the front legs. These are going to be the back legs. They're going to sit like that. And I tried to pick the ones with some color in them. And after I get done, these will be sanded a little bit, and a coat of wax will be put on to bring out the color. So we have our back legs here. And then the arms, of course, when you sit down in a chair, you want to feel comfortable in those. And so I don't know. Oh, there's the arms there. Notice how neat this cut. They just break right into it. So these are going to be the arms, and they're going to go this way, so that when you sit, you'll have this nice curved part to rest your arms on. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start to assemble these two sections, and then we'll get to the wood part after that's done. I use drywall screws or deck screws because they have a lot of grip to them and they tend to hold pretty steady. Trying to think what I have to do. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm going to take the front part and I'm going to take one part that's going to be the leg and I'm going to anchor those two like that there. Put those in the vise. I'm going to take the other one and see if I can do both of those. And the arm is going to go on like that. Okay. And I use a battery operated drill here. You can use an electric one. Use whatever you have. Now remember, I pre-drilled these, so that's what makes it go together so easily. And also on the plastic ski base here, I've used a drill and I've countersunk that here, and that's over here on this drill press here. I have a regular countersink bit, and when I run that into the hole, it drills the hole and also countersinks the screw head so it's nice and flat, and that makes a really good looking project. So we're going to put this in here. Alright, so now we need to put we have the leg and we have the arm, and now we're going to attach the back to that part there. I guess once you've been skiing for a while and maybe you're going to retire, you know how skis change. They have all these new models now, and everybody's going to switching over to the new ones, so there's a lot of old skis around and there's a lot of old skiers around. Now this will all have to be braced and supported after it's together, but this gives us the basic frame, and that's what that looks like if you can shoot down here. Gives us our back, our arm, and our front. And if you look at a chair, remember the back is bent back a little bit. Now this ski faces forward, or the curve faces forward on this particular part because it's on the outside of the chair. Obviously you wouldn't want to knock your head against that. So we have this here, and that's ready to go. We'll set that aside. And we'll put the other one together. When this chair is done, they'll probably be on display at the Home and Farm Expo or Home and Business Expo. I think it's on the 19th of this month, and it'll be at the old Angola High School or the new community center. I think this particular one will be in the artist exhibit in the cafeteria. Okay, now we have our two pieces for the chair. Oh, I can almost feel it. I can almost sit in it now. What we need to do is start putting the cross pieces on, and we'll have to drill the holes for that. And the measurements that I'm using, basically the seat has to be 16 inches off the floor in the front and about 13.5 inches in the back. When you make a chair, you want the back to be tilted back and you want the seat to come up a little bit like that so that you can sit down in it. You don't want it to be flat or angled the other way. So, and what you want to do is adjust it, or realize that you have to adjust it to make sure that it's comfortable, because they're all going to be a little bit different. This is the first piece that we're going to use, and this is for the front section here, and it's about 26 inches long. It's going to go in here, and also the height is important. Remember, it's 16 inches off the ground, and the slats for the seat then will rest on top of this. So what I'm going to do is take this particular piece here, slide it onto the workbench. And I'm going to measure from the bottom of the leg up, and I wanted it to be 16 inches total. The slats I'm going to use are about a 1/2 inch thick, so 15.5 inches is where this cross piece is going to be at. And I've got to figure out the thickness and then measure down from there. It's about 1.5 inches thick. So we take off about 3/4 to get to the center, and that's where the holes are going to be drilled for that. So now I've got to drill some more holes. Take a different drill here. Okay, I think that's it. Now what I have to do is I have to countersink the back side of this here, and I'm going to take the drill bit out of here and put it in my hand drill so that the head of the drill bit will fit flush. And the rung I want to be about 5 inches up from the bottom of the chair. This particular ski has aluminum skin on top, and then it has a wood center and a plastic bottom. Okay, we're on a roll. You know what? I think we might as well drill for the back part too while we're here and get that done. Now I have to consult my high-tech drawing here, make sure I have that right. The back brace for the seat is supposed to be 13.5 inches from the top. Okay, so I think now what we need to do is put a couple of pieces together. First one's going to be the one that goes across the top. It's going to go right in there like that. And also I need to mark where the hole's going to be at. What I'm doing is sighting down this piece to see which side has the curve on it that I want to use and which side doesn't. Now I'm going to line this up. I'm going to line this up. There we go. And there we go. I know exactly where everything's supposed to be at. I hope. I'm only going to put one screw in here because I want to be able to pivot this a little bit to get it to bend towards the outside so it matches the angle for the bottom board. Okay, we got these two pieces in place, and before I anchor this now I want to make sure that I have the right angle for this particular one. And so I need to, make sure that the one side set of legs is angled the same as the other side, only opposites. So I need to get a bevel for that, or sliding T-bevel. And that's this here. And all I want to do is place it on the ground and put it along the edge of the leg to make sure this angle here is the same as this angle here. If they're not, now notice that one isn't, have to adjust it. That looks pretty good. So now I'm going to put the second screw in to lock these pieces in place. And this completes the front part of the project. Okay, the next phase now is to put the back strip in, and I'm using this piece here for the back, and you'll notice that this particular piece has a curve in it, and this is the way I want the seat to go because the seat feels better when you sit on one that has a little bit of a curve to it. So it's going to go down here and right into that position there. And notice that's a little bit smaller than it should be, and that's good. That's a good thing. I'm going to put this in, and this one is a lot thicker, so I have to pre-drill it. Okay, and then this one, it'll match over here. And I have some lines that I've drawn on here to get the correct height. There we go. This in here goes in the back. Now, because this one is smaller than the front, this is going to pull the back legs in, and it makes the chair fit a little bit better when you sit down on it. You kind of snuggle into it than having it really feel like it's too big. So we got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and drill the second hole. I have my drill bit a little bit too short. I don't want to break the screw off inside of this native wood, so I got to make sure I get that the right length. All right, now we're moving. Put this piece and lock it together. Okay, and we put the last one in the back here. So we have that piece locked in. Now what this is going to do, the pieces that are going to be for the seat now are going to sit on top of here like this, and they will screw down into this piece, and the front will screw down into here. Remember, we have this curve here that the seat will follow, and then we're going to put our back piece on, so we have a little bit of taper to that. I'm going to pre-drill the holes in these pieces for the seat, and then when we come back from commercial, this part will be done, and we'll assemble that part of the chair. Break. Okay, welcome back. I've got the pieces drilled now, and I've attached them in the back, and now I'm going through and putting screws into the front part. Took them in place. And we'll be done with this in just a second. If you hear a popping sound, it's probably one of the screws breaking. But I use the drywall screws, but they have a lot more gripping strength. Okay, I'll turn this around. Now we have this part here. We have the seat done, we have our arms done, and now we're going to work on the back part of the chair. I've got a piece here that I'm going to use for the back, and it's a nice curved piece of wood here, which gives a bow in it, and it's going to be attached to the back like this here. What I need to do is I need to put a couple flat spots on here, and I'm going to do that over here at the workbench, and I'll show you how I come up with the angles on this particular piece. I set this down on the table here, and I find out where the curved part's going to be at, And pretty simple. I just take something that has some thickness to it, set it down underneath the part that's curved, hold it in the right position, and simply take a magic marker, get my hand out of the way, and mark underneath that. And do that on all four sides, keeping it in the same position. And what that does, then it comes up with a magic marker along here, and that's the part that I'm going to remove. And I've done that to both sides. So it's not real difficult. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and there's some different techniques in doing it. If I had my bandsaw down here, I would use that, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is clamp this about as tight as I can get, and simply take a wood chisel and remove the part that's inside of those inside of the area that I used with the magic marker. I need a flat surface, so when I run the screws through, it'll pull everything down tight. If it's still curved or round, it's going to want to rock back and forth, and I'll simply just break the screws loose. So I'm going to rough that in like that. Change this a little bit. Okay, what I have here is I have this flat surface pretty much even with the table here, like this, and when I come up to this piece here, I have to do the same thing to it, take off the same amount. If I don't do that, then I'm going to be in trouble. Be in trouble if I miss the wood chisel too. The particular wood that I'm using today is ironwood, and it usually grows in nice long poles, especially in a woods that has a big canopy or a lot of trees in it. It forces them to grow long and tall, and they stay pretty straight. So I'm doing that. I've got that part done. Now I want to do is take a Sureform tool here, and I'm simply going to go across where I've removed some wood to get a nice flat surface. Again, I'm trying to stay level with the table or level with the earth. And go to this one here and do the same thing with it. That should force everything to stay nice and flat. Okay, I've got that part done, and now what I need to do is on the edges I tend to round those off a little bit here. If you look at this here, it's kind of rounded. And I want to do the same thing this other side. I've done that to all these, but I want to show you how I do that, and it's no mystery. I simply take a small axe, and I'm going to go through here and cut it off. Now if I had a big belt sander, that'd be great, because I could just go through there and sand all those pieces down. If you don't have that, then resort to something else that works. Or if you had a neighbor, pay him a visit. Keep your fingers out of the way. Alright, I've got that much done, and all I'm going to do now is come back here to the vise, clamp that piece in, take the same Sureform tool, and all this is like a giant cheese grater here. It has really rough edges cut into it. And use that to round the wood over and sand it down a bit. You could use a file or just sandpaper. Or rub it against a rock. I suppose that would work too. So whatever you have, use it. Okay, now we have the edges rounded over. We have our flat surfaces, and this is going to go against the back of the chair here, and that's what's going to support the back of the seat. Okay, what I want to do now is measure up from the floor so I get the same height on both sides. Got to consult my pattern here. Okay. Take my pencil and I'm going to mark where I'm going to drill some holes to support that particular piece. Should be supported, so I'm just going to slide this over here, set these tips up on there so I can drill the holes for the back brace. There we go. 1, 2. Okay, now we get our countersink. Perfect. There we go. Remember, these are used skis, and used skis always have little dings and imperfections in them, and just kind of learn to go with the flow or work around those. Okay, now we take first one here and line it up on the marks. Try to get that just perfect. And come over here. Same thing with that one. Okay, we've got the back part. Now there's one more piece we have to put on, and that would be the piece that goes down here. I could do that. I think I will do that. It goes about right there, and the reason I put that in there is because this ski is going to rest on that. Okay, since we have these sticking out this way, we'll try it like this, see how it works. If it doesn't work, we'll change it. Okay, so we got one ski, two skis. These are the short ones, I think. And then we got these really nice, ooh, yeah. This is like sitting on a throne. Very good. Now we'll round this edge off a little bit. It's good. Do the cheese grater on it. Perfect. Put this piece down here. Get it just in the right position. Oh, that's perfect. Need a hole to anchor it in place. One. Two. All right, we got that. Countersink. Anchor screw. Make sure it's in the right spot. Oh yeah. That's good. Okay, now we're going to take another short break here, and I'll drill the holes for these parts here and we'll assemble this. Okay, there we go. We've got those pieces secured into place now. And if you notice, the chair still has a little bit of wobble to it, and that's because we've got to brace it now. We need to put a brace between the front leg and the back leg here. I think it's called a stretcher. One on the other side, and it keeps the legs spread out. And then also we're going to have to brace diagonally down to support the chair to keep it rigid, because it's always going to flex like this unless you have a diagonal brace to it, especially the way we're putting it together. So we're going to put the stretcher in now, and I've already pre-made those, and they're just simply dowels that have been varnished and the bark have been taken off of them, and they're going to go in place right in here. And I think this one, oh yeah, that one goes right there. What I've done is I've drilled the holes, and I've also drilled a hole into the center of the leg to give the screw someplace to cut into. If you don't, with this type of wood, normally as it dries a little bit more, it'll tend to split down the middle. And if you already have a hole there, it's less likely to do that where the screw is at, I think. And also I was trying to think, well, where would I put this type of chair? It probably wouldn't look good in the bedroom or even in the kitchen, but I was thinking it'd be great in our ski and snowmobile lodge in the Upper Peninsula, but we don't have one. So I think it probably would be okay to put it outside for a while too, and let it breathe out there. Since it's made out of skis and varnished wood, it'd probably last for a while. All right, that was good. That one went right in there. And hopefully this one will do the same thing. Okay, that does that pretty good. Now the last piece that we have to put in will be a diagonal brace, and that will go probably from here up in there. Oh, I almost had that perfect. And I think that'll go in there, and we'll cut this one off to fit that area down there. That'd be beautiful. Get Mr. Pencil here. Set this up right in the corner. Set this down here and mark. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. Oh, wow, let me tell you. And that should fit right in there. Oh, they're going to be great here. Okay, so now one more set of holes for this part. There we are. Good. This one here. There we go. Now we're good. Okay, now we're going to put the last screw in here and say hooray. Okay, and that's it. That's the summer ski chair. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Okay, we got a lot of holes drilled now, and I hope, whoa, ouch. I hope everything is going to work out in a position like that. Oh, do we want that curve there, or do we want it like that? Oh, I don't know. What would look best? Have this, 'cause that's pretty much above your head, right? Or we could put it like this. Okay, we'll let the audience decide. Okay, if you want like this, dial 1-800-555-6139. Or if you want it like this, dial 1-888-348-6192. The phones are ringing at this time. Shoot. Thank you. Okay. What I need to do is cut it off because it's a little bit too long. Ow, that was right on my foot. Oh, here's one here. Can't use that. My drill's getting tired, and so am I. It's been a long project, but what are you going to do in the middle of winter? Oops, sorry. Yeah, well. Kept thinking I was going to drill into my finger in one of these, so I'm really happy. So I stand here thinking, where did I put that? Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. It's okay. Okay. Moving right along. I just broke that screw off, so you're not supposed to tell on yourself. I can't get the screw. There's a metal plate in that, and I forgot to drill the hole through the metal plate. I lost the bit that goes into the drill to put the screws in, and I just took it off. Gosh dang it. Well, there it is on the floor.